Pope Francis making some controversial comments this week about gay marriage, abortion, and the church, saying in an interview last week, quote, "We cannot insist only on issues related to abortion, gay marriage, and the use of contraceptive methods. This is not possible. I have not spoken much about these things, and I was reprimanded for that."
So how are Catholics responding to this? Joining us now is Fox News religion contributor, Father Jonathan Morris. Father, nice to see you this morning.
Pope is shaking things up.
He is, and he's being straightforward, and he's talking about things that perhaps haven't been talked about before, or at least in many years, and bishops have been asking him to sort of go on record about where the church stands on these issues.
And he said, you know, I've gotten a lot of criticism for not talking enough about abortion, about gay marriage, about contraception, et cetera, the controversial issues. And he said, I am purposely not talking about those things.
Why not?
Whoa! You know, people say, but that's the foundation of what? No. And he says, no, that's not the foundation. The foundation is the whole message of Jesus Christ. That's the gospel. And of course, he says, insisting only on these things, what happens is we end up forgetting the rest. And so it's a choice he's made. I don't think he's saying, I'm sure he's not saying, therefore nobody should talk about those things. But if I, as Pope, am always talking about those things, then the rest of the message gets lost.
So interesting that he doesn't want the controversies to eclipse the rest of the message. But is there some indication that he's taking a more lenient approach to some of the controversial topics?
You know, it's a very different tone. He was asked about gay marriage in this interview, and he said, you know, if somebody asked me, what do you think about my homosexuality? He says, I would respond by saying, if Jesus looked at you, he would recognize your existence and would not deny it. Something along those terms. I put the whole interview on my Facebook and Twitter for people to look at. But it's a different tone. It's a very, very different tone.
And not really, at least from my point of view as a non-Catholic, not that surprising. What was surprising to me was coupling the three issues together. So contraception, gay marriage, okay, fine. Yeah. But abortion seems a totally different thing, at least according to Catholics. This is a matter of life and death. Catholics believe it's killing. Why was it coupled with the other two issues?
Well, he's saying that these are the issues that we're always asked about. And I think in part it's the media who's getting us to talk about these things, right? Obviously. But he's saying these are the controversial issues of the day, and we should be careful not to be only talking about those. The tone is very, very different. And it's making me question, am I talking about the gospel in a way that people who are on a different side of these major issues can't experience the wholeness of the faith?
Is this an awareness of sort of the acceptance and trying to reach a larger audience for the church? We were just in a foreign country not too long ago and went into a mass in an old church, and there was a lot of people in there, but they were all, older, much older, and I didn't see any young people in there at all.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like a strategy of a PR strategy. How do we get a few more people, in the pews? He's doing it as a shepherd. We are called to reach out to everyone. Do you guys mind if I tell a very, very personal story very quickly?
We love it.
Hey, this is, my sister is gay. She is legally married in Washington, D.C. to another woman this year. It's been very hard for the family, and she's been struggling with her faith a lot because of the church's stance. She wrote me this letter after she read Pope Francis' interview. Listen to this. She said, this is my sister Anne-Marie, and she gave me permission to read this.
That's good.
She said, all of this is to say that my first feeling when reading the Pope's interview is that I felt like I was listening to the voice of Jesus, a Jesus I could believe in. I've had extreme difficulty in opening a Bible for the past number of years. I get knots in my stomach. But then she says, yesterday I experienced Jesus through Pope Francis' words. She said, the news clippings conveniently left out other parts about moral consequences flowing from the simple, profound, radiant message of the gospel. She says, I recognize that the church also teaches something differently than I'm living. But she says, I can experience Jesus for the first time.
Oh my,
that's pretty heavy duty. I'm glad you read that.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Thanks for sharing that.
So much.
So nice.
Thank you. I hope she's watching this morning.
Thanks, Father John. Great to see you.
Thank you.